up, guys? How's it going? Today we're going to do a suggestion by Mr. Monkey Film. It's going to be a ninja out on a tree. So what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to do something a little different today, is I'm doing this via digital. I'm going to digitally paint it. If you don't know how to digitally paint, don't worry, I'll let you know what you need. Right now I'm using Photoshop CS5. And I'm also using a Wacom tablet. That's pretty much every comic is colored with that now. It's colored digitally. You can look up, you can Google Wacom tablet, Intuos. I'm using an Intuos 3. Some people use Cintiqs. So what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing a gray color. I totally put a gray background on this, and now I'm going in there and tracing in, not tracing, I'm sorry. I'm going in here and I'm putting in the figure of the ninja. I want him to kind of jump off the roof. In terms of his posing, right here, digital is much more forgiving than real life. So I'm just kind of going in here and figuring out his pose, you know, what it's going to be like. I want him to have like a sword, and I want him maybe almost jumping. I'm thinking maybe into the moonlight. I'm not sure. Going in there, tracing his leg, pushing in his leg. Tracing is like, wow, pushing his leg. I would recommend digital to anybody, since it's been such a staple to the industry for so long. If you don't have the money, I understand. You know, it's I believe the Wacom. Some of the Wacom tablets are $150 to $200. The really expensive ones, like the Cintiq, those are, I believe, $1,000 or $2,000 USD. But I do highly recommend it. There's less mess. It's the time saver. It's more professional in some ways, only because you can convert it through files. You don't have to scan or anything. Right now I'm going over the branches of the tree. Not really sure what I want yet. Right now I'm just trying to get a profile. I feel like if this can read in a profile, then it would work. You know, in general, I'll be safe as most of it. I'm going to be pushing in there. I'm kind of toying with, do I want a tree there or not? You know, like, well, how tall do I want this thing? What exactly will come out? Kind of changing up the value. I'm changing the brush as well. I want kind of a rough brush so that I can push into the back. It gives it some texture. One of the hardest things I've noticed from digital as opposed to real life, drawing, like on paper, is the kind of the texture problems. I notice when I'm using a regular piece of paper with pencil and regular markers and things like that, a hard part is to kind of get things really smooth. You know, like I'm trying really hard to smooth out shapes, smooth out halftones, smooth out value, and that's kind of a struggle sometimes for when you're working in traditional medium. But in digital, it's backwards. You're trying hard to not make it smooth. Everything is too smooth, to the point where it looks pretty robotic and doesn't really lend itself to looking pretty. You know, it's overly smooth. So the hard part in digital is trying to make things look more textured, which is kind of ironic that it's backwards. So that's why I use kind of a jaggedy brush, as you can tell, to kind of get some more texture going on. I'm also using the opacity. If you've never used digital, you can lower the opacity and the opacity settings of the brush that you're using, so that when you push down, it's pressure sensitive. It'll feel like you're using a real, real marker, real brush in real life. As you push down, the shape will become more solid, and as you kind of lightly stroke across, the strokes will be lighter. Right now I'm toying with what I want in the background. I'm thinking about, do I want clouds in the back? What is it that I'm looking for? I'm still just searching. You can do a lot more. You can do searching in regular paper, but you can do a whole lot of searching on digital. I'm running this on a PC, by the way. I don't think your computer has to be incredibly powerful to run Photoshop. It's not. This isn't ZBrush. I don't even think the particular computer I'm using with this could sustain ZBrush at all. I'm playing this in real time, so just if you want to know, this isn't sped up or anything. This is all just doing it right now. Going in there trying to smooth things out again. It kind of reminds me of sculpting a little bit, where you kind of, there's large shapes that you try to cut back on certain, you try to cut back shapes into smaller ones. You try to figure it out. Continuing down to, I want to put something down there, maybe like a valley. Not really sure yet. I think I have a pretty strong profile for the ninja, but I'm trying to maybe throw some background in there. For anyone that's in doubt, learn backgrounds. If you don't like backgrounds, just keep pushing it. Push exactly what you are not good at. And I myself am not good at backgrounds. I love characters, love drawing characters all the time, but you gotta learn to draw backgrounds if you want to do this as a career, or I mean, if you want to be a pretty good hobbyist in art. Learn everything. Attack what you're weakest at, and you will be pretty good. I mean, you'll be at least be decent. If you hate airplanes, something like that, you hate drawing them, practice like 20 of them or 30 of them, and it won't be a horrible glaring weakness, you know. Me being in school, like I just came from Art Center in Pasadena, and you're in a group of people, a small group of people, where in one class somebody could be the worst student. You know, let's say we're doing you know, mechanical armor, you know. One person could be the worst, and then next class we're doing maybe a sci-fi design for a monster, you know, more organic. And then they're the best, you know, like the best and the worst switch every week in when I was in school. So people have glaring weaknesses when you're an up-and-coming artist, and I still do too. But I encourage you really hard to find what you're weakest at and study that the most for, take like a week or 2 weeks and really study that, you know, like really in-depth study it, hardcore, spend all your time on it. Darkening in the figure here. I want to make it a little darker than the background. I want to make it kind of like he's running off or something, or about to jump off this little like plant thing. Next time I'm going to throw in a lot more color. I'm going to try to go back and forth in terms of using mediums. I want to show you guys everything, if possible. I don't know about... Oh, I changed the value again in the brush there. I don't know about going over oil, because I'm not good at oil at all. I don't even really... I've only used oil like twice, honestly. So, but I will probably go over acrylic soon. Whoa, there's that error that pops up every now and then. You know, where sometimes an error pops up on the Wacom tablet. When you push down, it pushes down too hard. So I'm kind of toying with. Actually, that's a shape tool. So I'm toying with that shape tool. I'm trying to see what I can do. I want to throw a moon behind him. So I'm still trying to figure this out right now. Maybe I can use the layer setting. Not sure. But yeah, attack your weakness. My weakness right now would be, and I'll say it out loud so that you guys know. Oh, okay. I decided to put in a solid shape and then just kind of lower the opacity. You can lower the whole layer. You can lower the opacity of the whole layer, and I'm going to pull those shapes out. One of the cooler things about using digital is that you're doing it in layers. So if you don't like what you did on one layer, you can just delete that layer and go back. It's like, you know, like a little time machine. you can erase stuff where you could never ever erase in traditional medium. You know, you'd have to either start over or do it over it. Anyways, like I was saying, my weakness would be attractive girls. I'd never draw pinups ever, and I'm gonna say that out loud so that I hold myself to that. I'm gonna try to do that for you guys at one point, or I'll you know, if you want to follow my journey, my artist journey, go to my blog, refinethedesign.com, and I'm gonna update it a lot more. Lately, I kind of updated it lately, but I'm gonna update it again. And I'm basically, what's up in my art life, I'm just doing there, you know, things with business, things with what I'm working on in the moment, you know. Right now, currently I'm working on my color. My color's not very good, so I'm trying to push that harder. And you know what, if you guys have any weaknesses or anything that you're glaring weaknesses, you know, write it down in the comments, you know, maybe just throw it out there, throw it out in the universe. If you guys have any, I'm curious. I mean, it seems like we all do, you know. I mean, I know some guys that don't seem like they do, but, alright, continuing. I'm going to put more white layer. I want the highest contrast to be around the figure. When I say contrast, I mean the whitest white and the darkest dark within the whole picture. Those two, when they're right next to each other, they're going to form a focal point. You see? So you're trying to lead the eye around the picture, and you want someone to know where to look. The second they look at this picture, where they're going to look. And usually what I've been taught is they'll look right at the highest contrast point. You know, where some's the darkest, right next to where the lightest is. Another way to form focus, I believe, would be I guess a sharper shape as opposed to a blurred shape. You can kind of blur out the sides and sharpen it where the focus is supposed to be. Kind of like the way your eye is a lens, you know, focuses on that. Alright, now I'm using the lasso tool. The lasso tool is great. You can make whatever shape you want, and then it'll isolate that area, right? So I'm only painting into that shape. If you want more digital demonstrations, please let me know. I'm going to try to do a bunch. The next couple are going to be digital, I believe. Because I got some requests there in the t-shirt giveaway that were really interesting to me, and I was like, wow, I'd love to do this digitally. Continue to mess with that shape. I want to make it look like there's a shiny, shiny shape. I want it to look like a sword. Alright. I gotta put in the handle in the back. One thing when you're dealing with silhouettes, it's kind of like you're not sure if he's coming or going, you know? If you ever see someone walk toward you and there's a lot, and you can't, you ever do that? You see someone in real life walk toward you, and you're not really sure if they're walking away or they're walking forward. Because, you don't see a feature or not. Right now, he could be jumping toward, but I want to make him look like he's jumping away by putting the handle on that side. And even right now, what's going through my head is I'm like, should I change him to come toward us? No, that doesn't make any sense. It's got to be away. Going in there, fixing the shape a little bit more. I'm changing the brush to more of a round, solid brush. I want to get solid shapes now. I realized continuing to kind of think about how the arm would look like if it was in that position, and trying to refine the silhouette there. Going down the leg, bring out what shape that would make. Another thing about if you guys are afraid of digital, I mean I know a few people that are, but I don't think it's the case anymore since digital is so around, Try never to use just the mouse if you have Photoshop. Get a Wacom tablet. You know, invest in one. You know, invest in your future, invest in your learning and your art. A Wacom tablet is so much better. I can't believe people still use the mouse, because you'll get carpal tunnel fast if you use the mouse. But I would strongly recommend it. I can't push that enough. If you're gonna do digital, get a Wacom tablet. Continuing to push into the character here, find some edges. Ninja. Huh. I want to have that shinobi, you know, kind of strings coming off them kind of thing. They're flapping around over there in the moonlight. Pushing it. I'll take this opportunity right now to talk about what I'm gonna do next. My plans for this page. I'm planning to do a lot more digital. I want to do a lot more color demos. I want to actually start coloring Sonic. I want to color maybe Mario. I want to start doing actually. I mean, after I'm done with these suggestions you guys gave me, I want to start doing a lot of bigger things. You know. Hopefully more finished illustrations. This is actually right now to the level of probably a good thumbnail sketch, you know. It's a very high contrast, very high contrast piece. But yeah, I want to do much bigger things with this page, and I want to thank you guys for listening. All right. Continuing to work here, and right now I'm going through an evaluation phase. I'm trying to think of like, hey, how would things work? You know, I'm trying to think more, especially with the branches. I would actually get reference for the branches too, and don't be afraid of reference. I'm not using reference right now, but I think I could use some, especially with just the way certain things are curving. And a lot of this is really just finessing, you know, kind of like you do in the real life. It's just finessing the same thing you have in front of you. Continue to work into it. Oh, one more thing, kind of an announcement. If you guys have a YouTube channel of your own that you want me to check out, tell me. Send me a private message. Let me know. I'd love to check it out. I know this is a community we're dealing with. YouTube, our sites are more than just, you know, us showing off or us doing our own thing or us, you know what I mean? We're a community, you know. Let me know. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a private message. You know, we can talk. We can, you know. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the picture just to see all the errors, you know. I'm not sure why, but when you flip an image you see it with a fresh eye, you know. Let me see something, and I'm like, right now I'm seeing like, oh, you know, certain shapes are too dark, so I'm gonna move them around, just finessing it a little bit more. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. Next time I'll put maybe a sped up version of this, sped up videos. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have a lot of different things going on, and I appreciate everything, all the support so far, and thanks so much. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Bye.